Welcome, ASUN fans, to another edition of the Lunchbox, where we take our lunch hour and talk to your favorite ASUN athletes. Joining me today is back-to-back Atlantic Sun Conference Newcomer of the Week, FGCU guard Dolly Cairns. How are you, Dolly?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
It's awesome. Two big wins this week for FGCU. You guys put up 100 against Ave Maria earlier this week, and you also beat number 18 UNC. What are the vibes in Alico this week?
Yeah, I think obviously that UNC win is a big momentum builder for us. It gives us some confidence going into the season. The Ave Maria game was a way for us to kind of work on some of the things that we struggled with. But yeah, we had a good weekend, a good showing at the Gulf Coast showcase, and just looking forward to keeping that momentum and bringing it throughout the season.
Totally. One thing I think that is the best thing about your team is that the talent runs so deep throughout your roster. How different teams, for example, Briley Barton had the FGC record for threes against Ave Maria earlier this week. When you play a ranked team and eventually get into the dog days of the season, how important is it knowing that you have different contributors, can have different contributors every night?
Yeah, no, it's extremely important, and I think our coaches do a great job holding us to that standard that everybody has to be able to do everything, and it really can be anybody's night. And then also just our unselfishness. I think we try to get the best shot every possession. So I might get every shot in a game, or I might get 0 shots in a game. It's all just about getting the best open look.
Totally. I think when you watch film or you watch any FGCU game, it's very clear that you guys are always going for that best shot. It's really impressive to watch, and I think that's evidenced by the big wins this year. That one of those big games, obviously with the UNC game, you have conference games coming up in a month. How do you kind of keep the momentum that you've been able to gain in non-conference and apply that to later in the season?
Yeah, I think just keeping our same attitude and just approaching every game, no matter who the opponent is. Obviously, the UNC teams like that, Iowa, the USC teams, those are bigger opponents, but we really, treat them all the same and looking to do the same exact thing going into conference.
Totally. It makes a ton of sense there. You transferred to FGCU this past offseason from Rhode Island. What made you want to come to FGCU to play basketball?
I actually had some family down here. So I have visited Southwest Florida a bunch of times growing up, and then just kind of driving past it, I knew of the campus and everything. And then obviously you hear about FGCU basketball, women's basketball, and the things that they're able to do every single year. I think everyone would want to be a part of it. And I think it was kind of something that I was hoping for.
What is kind of the biggest challenge when you come to a new team?
I think there's a few things. Obviously, the team dynamic and just kind of meeting everybody and learning each other's strengths and learning to play off of them. Also, the expectations of the coach and the program. I don't think it was a challenge for me, but I think just any adjustment like that can be a little tricky for some, but I don't know. I would say just probably learning how to play with each other. Like I said before, we're still trying to figure that out and learning off of each other every single day. So I would say that.
That's super interesting. Do you feel like coming into that system that you were just a fit naturally, or was there anything that you had to learn kind of in the preseason into these first couple games?
Yeah. Something interesting is our terminology. Like we have, I don't know, like short names for every action that we run or any principle that we have. So learning that terminology so it's easy and you can kind of just, get through things quicker, makes it easy. So that was a small challenge, but yeah, I would say that.
On the lunchbox, we like to ask a food related question. So for you, what does your game day meal look like? What is your go-to game day meal?
It's pretty simple actually. It's just some pasta, some chicken, and broccoli, and then a few pieces of bread.
There you go. That's
Yeah,
sounds like a good game day meal. I'm all in.
yeah, pretty simple.
There you go. Um, so I'm curious too. You mentioned in another interview a little bit about the if you want to be great 88. Can you kind of explain what that mantra is for your team?
Yeah, so in the preseason we do most of our shooting. Um, and if you want to be great, 88 is just a way for us to keep track of how many shots we're getting up every day. So um coach will break up our shooting drills into 44 and 44, the amount of takes you have, which adds up to 88. And uh, then we also have a thing called a clean closer. So you have 12 shots that's your closer. So that puts you at 100. And we would do kind of any combination of shooting drills and write down our makes, keep track of everything. And the whole preseason was if you want to be great 88, you should come in and get those done. You can pick your shooting combinations. They gave us binders, sheets, everything, and we really just had to go put the work in.
That's really cool. It's a great way to get those shots up and to make sure you're improving every year. All right. At the end of every lunchbox, we like to play a game called Red Flag, Green Flag. I'm gonna give you 3 prompts, and you're gonna have to tell me if it's a red flag, meaning a bad thing you wouldn't do, or a green flag, meaning a good thing you would do, and why you think it's a red flag or a green flag. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Screaming and one when getting fouled at the rim.
Did they make it? Like, do you make it?
You made it. You made it.
Uh, red flag.
Red flag. Why is that?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's okay, but like if it's the first quarter and you still have like the whole game left, like there's no reason for it. But like maybe if it's the game-winning play, yeah, but I would go with red flag.
That makes sense. Makes depending on the moment. It's a
Yeah.
big one, cool. Not a big one, not cool. All right, I like it. Wearing low top shoes.
Hmm. Uh, green flag.
Green
I wear low
flag.
tops.
It's okay. So no mids.
Uh, I feel like low tops and mids are fine. I feel like high tops might be the red flag there.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you, Dolly, for coming on the lunchbox. Check out FGCU. They play this week against Old Dominion on ESPN, plus Sunday at 1 p.m. So definitely catch that game. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for coming on, Dolly.
Thank you so much for having me.